Hi all, this is Ashish Kyal here. Welcome again to Elliott Wave News channel by Ashish Kyal Trading Gurukul and a learning series by Wave Strategy Advisors. It has been a very phenomenal week both for the markets and for myself. And we know the cyclone that we witnessed 2 days back, not so much in Mumbai, but in Lonavala at Cloud9 Hill Resort. I'm sitting there at my resort right now outside. The reason being there is no network across the space, absolutely no network. There is no electricity since 3 days. We are here without any electricity. The cyclone was so strong and stormy. I'm not sure if you checked me out on the Twitter. I shared a video that showed how the cyclone was, and it was simply crazy. It looked fabulous at one point of time in the morning when there was all the breeze all around, but when that started gaining steam and momentum, just like Nifty, it went crazy. And that was the time when there was rush between life and death. You will not believe, I was writing a research, and by the time I was writing and thought of completing it, uh, the 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 tiles on the roof started falling apart, and I was like, what's happening? I don't know. And I thought to myself, let me just complete this research and publish it out, and the another tiles fall apart. And then I was like, it's crazy. I would probably don't want to die typing a research and publishing it across on social media, but I should be rather saving my life and running for it. And entire family was here. Fortunately, by the grace, we were able to rush out from the cottages to the bungalow, which was much safer, but it was simply crazy. There is no network since morning. I've been struggling to identify where do I conduct a webinar, whether I should or I shouldn't, given the network connectivity. Vodafone is not there. Fortunately, Geo to an extent is working, but it's catching only at a very specific location where I am sitting right now outside in a sunny day. You can clearly see the beautiful mountains behind me, the beautiful nature behind me. That's not a photograph. That's a real scene that you are seeing right there, and it's simply fabulous. So on a sunny day, I've used my Mac as a stand right now, and I'm speaking through a phone, and my Mac is acting as a stand. Now that's where technology is in front of nature, right? So that shows the power of nature. If you just mess it with it, you don't know how you are going to end up. And fortunately, I was able to survive this scenario. So I hope everyone is safe, everyone is sound. That is what is more important. Don't be so much compulsive. So my experience I'm going to share across. I'm not sure if you get bored with that, but I'm going to share across something very interesting. So what happened on Wednesday was a simply crazy thing that happened, and we rushed all over from the cottage to the bungalow. And that time I was typing a research, and the only thing what was on my mind is to get my tweet out, to get my social media out. And then I realized at the end of the day, when the market closed and the cyclone subsided, next day the cyclone subsided, not the same day. I realized that we are so much compulsive about doing what we are doing that we forget about the priorities. So don't be so much compulsive about everything. And that is the reason why the markets are patterned. That exactly is the reason you will see that the markets are patterned in nature. So the reason why that happens is because everyone is compulsively doing things that they are probably not supposed to do, and that's why you see channels working so fabulously well. You see the patterns, the Elliott Wave patterns working so fabulously well. And if you remember 2 weeks back when I did the webinar and you all voted, there was 50 people who voted for Nifty going up or going down. That was exactly at 9,100. And I told very specifically that my view is bullish given that the cycle low is being forming. In fact, I even tweeted that people will be shocked to see the nature of the up move which will ensue from here. And from 9,100, we are sitting now at 10,100 on Nifty. And that's a 1,000 point up move. And trust me, if the polling is not right now active, if I would have polled, 90% of you would have been bullish now, when there is time to be cautious now, because after a 1,000 point up move, you are started to feel like probably the markets are going towards lifetime high levels again. So I'm not saying that the markets are going to fall down from here on. What I'm suggesting is this is the time who have created long positions around 9,100. If you have been following me on my research or Twitter, 9,200 to 9,250, I specifically mentioned go along there. We gave buy call on Nifty, Bank Nifty, right at 9,110 levels, and we saw a huge rise all the way in just 4 to 5 days of time. And that's like a huge move, and you don't see such kind of a move in such short period of span of time. So before I proceed again, I want to ask you, are you able to hear me very clearly? Because I have, as I said, I'm using my Mac as a stand. I'm talking through a phone app, and I'm just trying to figure out if people are able to hear me. So I've been struggling throughout the day, discussing with my team whether we should do the webinar, whether we should cancel out. But I thought to myself that 4 p.m. is the time that I want to address to every one of you, because you people expect me to be there. And if I am not there, then that's not right thing on my side. And that's why I am here. So if I get disconnected, don't be disheartened. I'll try to connect again if I can. But enjoy the nature and enjoy the time that you have with your family and spend time with them, because that is very important. That's what I realized post that cyclone close encounter with that. I would say it was really crazy. There was wind all over the place, and it's simply crazy. Okay, let's move on further, and let me just check out a few things and understand how is uh, things out there and in the markets. So let me share across a chart. So I'm not going to be stretching this time too much, because of everyone knows how difficult it is for me to do that. So let me just share across a chart. If you are able to see my photo, just let me know once I share it across. So here is a Nifty daily chart that I'm sharing across. Are you able to see my screen right now? Are you able to see my screen right now? Okay, fantastic. So if you are able to see my screen, you will be able to see that this is a Nifty daily chart that I am showing. Please do not annotate. I am not sure. I don't know. Someone just annotated on my screen. I will not be able to do anything from phone. I'm right now trying to figure out how this thing functions. So if you can see my screen, this is a Nifty daily chart that you can clearly see, and 9,100. So the level that you can see clearly at this point of time, let me just draw it here. That was the level at 9,100 that I went bullish on, and I rode the trend all the way right now till this point of time. So now, okay, that's little lower, and let me just rub that out, and I wrote the trend right till this point where you are seeing the current market scenario. So that's the point I am probably right now, and 10,160 is where the markets are, right? So that has been a very huge move on the upside in a very short span of time. If you can you count it for me? The number of days it took from 9,100 to the top. Can you count it for me? How many days did it take? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 to 8 days. Within 7 trading sessions, you saw 1,000 point move on Nifty, which is a 10% rise. 7 to 8 trading sessions, you don't normally see 10% rise on an index, and that is possible only in a bear market rally, right? That is, this kind of moves are possible only in a bear market rally. Mind it, I'm still talking it as a bear market rally. I'm not saying that this is a fresh bull trend. This is still going to be wave B, and I think we are in wave G of a diametric pattern, which is somewhere around, I think, 76.4% with respect to wave A. Post it completion, I'm not talking now, it might go higher. I don't know. I'm not coming in front of a running train. My view is bullish. I will stay bullish as long as the support level holds, and once that support is broken, then I will change my stand. Let me now share across another chart with you. Just give me a second and share across us another chart which will show you a very clear outlook on a short term time frame. So let me do that. I've taken those screenshots with me so that it becomes easy while conducting a webinar, and let me just share it across with you over here using an Ichimoku cloud. Are you able to see my screen again? This is an hourly Nifty chart using an Ichimoku cloud. Are you able to see my screen? I need everyone to participate like we always do, irrespective of how I'm conducting the webinar. It's not an easy thing, but are you able to see my screen again? Fantastic. Huge number of participants today as well, despite of what all things we are going through. So we can clearly see, do you agree with me that on an hourly Ichimoku cloud, the breakout happened near the zone of 9,200. Can you see that on the chart? Can you see that on the chart? 9,200, the breakout happened on the Ichimoku cloud. Isn't that a confirmation that in the entire downfall that we saw from 9,880 till the levels of somewhere around 8,810, there was not a single time Ichimoku cloud was broken on the upside, giving a close, positive close. That did not happen. And that was a very clear indication that a bigger uptrend is starting. But the problem is we want to stay bearish because we are bearish. We don't want to change our stand. And as I said last time as well, that I would take hardly 5 minutes, not even 5 minutes, a fraction of a second, I would change my stand with a blink of an eye if my charts and indicators suggest that. So 2020 has been a fabulous year. The March fall was simply superb. The rally that we saw right now, 1,000 point rally on a Nifty. When do you see this near vertical rise? And the problem is, if you try to enter now, when it's at 10,200, already 1,100 points, if you try to enter, you are probably late entrant. Probably, I don't know. The rally still continues. It can. So a few of you are seeing divergence. I would say that's not a divergence unless prices turn back down. That's a very important information that you need to understand. It's not a divergence. A divergence will come only once the prices come back down. Tell me, using that Ichimoku cloud that you see here, the chart that you are seeing right now, let me just zoom in a bit. During the uptrend, the cloud was protected. Are you with me? And green colored. Are you with me? Okay. During the downtrend, the cloud turned red and prices stayed below the cloud. Again, during the uptrend, the cloud is green and prices are above the cloud. So do you think that this market right now is a buy on dips, or do you still think that this market right now is sell on rise? As of now, I'm talking short term. I'm not talking medium term. Don't take my medium term view for my short term view, because the problem with people is if I'm bullish over short term and bearish over medium term, they assume that I'm bearish all the way. So that's not the case. You need to understand the time frame I'm talking about, and do not judge me based on what I'm talking. You need to get access to the research, because this is a free learning application that I am doing under the name of Ashish Kyal Trading Gurukul. This is no advice about markets. You can't really act on it. This is just from learning perspective. As majority of you agrees with me, this is a buy on dips market, given the fact that we are above that hourly cloud. Once we start seeing that the cloud turns red again and prices break below the cloud, then we will find out a shorting opportunity. Does it make sense? Am I making sense? But why to capture an uptrend? Why to capture a downtrend or capture a top from here on? That's my question. I have seen so many of them who have probably missed this trend at 9,250 when I was saying at 9,100 go long, 9,200 go long. Cycles are bottoming, 55-day cycle low is formed. No one probably paid heed to it. And I said you will be shocked to see the time frame by which it will go up fast. Now that it has gone up and majority is on the sidelines, everyone is now trying to catch a top here. My exact inference from this market is this: the market has run up already 1,000 points from the low, and that's why this is the time where we should be probably start looking for booking profits on the long positions and not creating fresh longs right now. I would use dips as a buying opportunity where the risk reward is much more favorable. But it is time to be little cautious, because we are already seeing a G leg on the upside of a diametric, and once that G is complete, we will start seeing a distribution happening. There is no distribution as of now. The world markets are up. And the most interesting aspect is you have seen different cyclones, you have seen COVID cases. The number of cases in India has simply been the highest yesterday. So you can clearly see that the news events does not move the market. Do you still believe that the markets are driven by the news or the events? Do you still believe that? I'm sure if you are still believing that, the markets are the only way who will probably teach you that it's not the news or the events. So that's the thing. So the markets are in an uptrend. The important support lies somewhere around these zones. So let me just try and not something. So this is the zone where which becomes an important short-term support level. As long as this zone is protected, I will use dips as a buying opportunity. If we see a break below this zone, we will enter into a consolidation phase. Okay, I'm not capturing a top in this market right now. I don't want to do that. Okay, that's a very, very clear sign from my side, and the overall trend remains positive. So okay, let me just stop my screen sharing right now. So it has been a very, very sharp rise. And what is the most important aspect is you need to look at the price patterns, and you need to look at the price action. As Sham perfectly pointed out, price action is the only thing that you know. Rest all is all a myth, which is derived. I will not say a myth, but it is derived out of price. So unless price is confirmed, do not try to catch a top here. It's very important. Yes, if tomorrow we fall by 300 points on Nifty, then maybe things will change. But as of now, we have not seen that happening, right? So why you want to come in front of a running train? You probably ride that train to the destination till where it wants to go. I will be mentioning in my monthly research report where this Nifty is headed from here on, and the short-term research I'll explain about much about the diametric pattern and the overall trend of the markets and the exact entry and exit level. So that's how the markets are, and I'm really glad that I'm able to do it from outside, close to the nature, and it has worked out fabulously well. So I've been figuring out how to get this app running on a mobile phone, but I think it has worked out well for every one of you. So let me take a few questions if I can take few questions, and let me just check. Uh, there are few questions here on the chat. Okay, and I can see that where do I see Nifty headed from here on? I made it very clear. So the question is, where do I see Nifty from here on? I think the overall short-term trend is positive. The resistance is around 10,300 odd levels. We will see how it's going to go from there on. And we are going to be looking closely the support level. So existing long positions should follow a trailing stop loss method. Keep riding the trend. And in 7, 8 days, if you can check the chart, not a single day we have closed below the prior day low. Not a single day has closed below the prior day low. We broke that low yesterday, but did not close below that low. So that means that the trend is still positive until and unless I see a close below the prior day's low, and the weekly bias is still buy on dips right now. Okay. Medium to long term view, I think you should be looking for investing, but in a very, very selective space. Not everything is going to be on the buy side. The fast this bear market rally continues, the equally fast it can fizzle out. So you need to be careful. Don't get carried away. Do not trade unless you have a risk reward in place. Do not just try to jump in because you missed the trend. I'm sure majority of you who are trying to jump in now are try have actually missed the trend. So don't do that. It's going to be crazy if you do that, because if you have a strategy in place and you are okay with 100 points up move from here on, and you have a stop loss in place, please do that. But if you don't, then you need to be very careful. What the deals with telecom is simply mind blowing. This is started by Reliance itself. You can see the amount of money this guy has raised in such a time is simply mind blowing, which means India as a digital space is someone everyone is eyeing a pie for it. And you can clearly see what we are right now. Everything is functioning on the technology. I am doing it on a technology. You are listening to me, seeing me, talking about markets. Everything is on a technology from a place where there is no electricity. I'm sitting right now at Cloud9 Hills Resort, at my resort in Lonavala. There is no electricity since 4 days because of the cyclone. The poles of electricity has been torn apart, but the mobile phones are working and we are able to survive, and I'm able to communicate with the world. That itself shows that digital India is the name of the game in near future. So that's going to be a big space that you should be looking for investing for sure over the period of time. Vodafone Idea stock review, I think it's everyone's guess. Probably you toss a coin, and if it is heads, you go long, and if it is tails, you probably short. That's what I would call for Vodafone Idea. Why you want to be into a space which is already not a space, I would say, into a stock which has not proven its track record? Why do you want to capture that? I don't know where it will head from here on. It will be on a fire because of the deals and happening. But if you want to get into the fire, you should be prepared to be burnt out. If you can't, if you don't know how to get out, you should be prepared to be burnt out. So if you are okay burning out, get into the fire. So that's what I would like to say. Pharma sector has been in an uptrend for a very, very long time, and I think pharma sector is going to be there. You should be investing in pharma sector. I have recommended a few pharma stocks in my multi-bagger research report. You can get access to that. View on SBI, again, it's going to move with index. So if the index view is positive, it's going to be up. So I'm not going to be able to take a lot of questions. So as of now, there was so much of sunny, and right now I can see the clouds running back again, and it started a little drizzling on the downside. So that's how a hill station is, right? You see so much on the such a change of weather in just 2 minutes of time. Yes, Rakesh, we have a session tomorrow. Yes, I forgot. If you want to attend the session, you can visit the website wavestrategy.com/webinar. Register yourself tomorrow 11 a.m. I am conducting a session, and it has worked out today extremely well, and you will be getting an invite link. So I will be talking a lot tomorrow. I'm assuming that the way it is functioning right now, I will be able to speak tomorrow with a presentation on how to trade momentum stocks using Elliott Wave. That is what I'm going to do. That I've been conducting the webinars even last time. In fact, the stock Biocon, I talked about it in my last Saturday or prior to that 23rd May and 30th May. I talked about Biocon, and it was up by nearly 10% in a single day. Can you see that? That was fabulous, right? That was fantastic. So look at the pharma stocks which are in an uptrend. I think pharma stocks will continue the uptrend from here on as well. So let me just check a few more things. What would be the Nifty support? Prashant, I would be mentioning that in the daily research report. Sorry, I can't reveal everything in this free webinar, but please refer the Financial Wave short-term update, the Nifty support, and how to ride the trend from here on. I'll be mentioning that, and I'm going to publish the monthly research also. View on Axis Bank, I'm not sure. I don't have the chart right now in front of me, and I will not be able to answer that. So let me take the early webinar. You said the strength of this pullback will decide the probability we are visiting or breaching 7511. Has that probability reduced? Jai, no, this wave B is still ongoing, and we are still retraced only around 50% to 61.8%. So that probability has not yet reduced so far. We are seeing where this wave B ends, and then there will be the time which is going to be mentioning, which will going to help me understand where this 7511 will be eventually broken in this bear market. So I think I'm going to discuss that in much detail in tomorrow's session, because that's going to be a much lengthier session than this one. It's a 2-hour session tomorrow. It's a free webinar. You can register yourself at wavestrategy.com/webinar, and I'll be addressing there. So, or you can also get in touch with us on 9920422202, and you can ask my team and colleague to get it for you, or join the Telegram group AK Trading Gurukul. Lot of things will be mentioned there. Why did you change your view to bullish at 9100 when you were so bearish? I'm not sure if you have checked my last week webinar. Anyone from my last week webinars? So 2 weeks prior, I changed my view from bearish to bullish. Anyone there from the past 2 webinars? Were you aware that I'm changing my view right before the move happened? Did you understand I changed my view before that happened? I'm not changing my view after it has happened. I'm changed my view before the move happened. At 9100, I changed my view. And can someone tell me, why do you think I changed my view to bullish from being bearish? If you listen me completely end to end, you will understand that. Time cycle, Jai Patel, exactly. I said the cycle lows are kicking in. And if you remember a month back, I said whatever fall has to happen prior to 25th of May. This was also told a month prior to May. In my April webinar, I said if the fall has to come, it has to come prior to 25th of May. And you can see why 25th of May was forecasted a month before. That's a simply superb way of looking at the time cycle. So cycles keep changing my view, and I do it very, very abruptly. I can just change my stand with a fraction of with a blink of an eye. And I will be discussing. So before I now end up, I will be discussing about all of these cycle analysis in much detail along with Elliott Wave in my upcoming mentorship program, which is starting right from June 20th. Only 2 weeks to go. 3 months of mentorship is going to be happening. If you want to register for mentorship, please drop an email to helpdesk@wavestrategy.com or call on 99204 22202. I'm not sure if you are able to hear the sound of the insects here. Are you able to listen to that? That's beautiful, right? If you are able to listen to the sound of the insects, that's beautiful. You are not able to listen to it. I'm so sorry for that. Uh, you can listen to all the birds, all the sounds, all the insects. This is Cloud9 Hills Resort. So someone asked, which resort is this? Cloud9 Hills Resort in Lonavala, and it's simply fabulous. But yes, it's not easy for someone like me who is technology savvy to conduct webinars in the nature, bees, insects, snakes, and lizards everywhere all around, and it's fabulous. So today, it's also a very important day because today is a Purnima, I suppose, and today is also an eclipse. Now that marks a very important time, right? Not only for certain aspects, it marks an important day from the market perspective also. I'm not nuts. You can go back and probably check from the market perspective. Lot of things changes from the Purnima, from the Amavasya, from the eclipse. Things do change. In fact, there have been a study which is conducted by Mark Galveston, my close associate and friend from Elliott Wave International, and he has talked about Taiwan market, how the equinox changed the market scenario. He has a huge research on that. So that clearly shows how fantastic these days are and how it works clearly. So that marks a day. So today is a very important day and it should mark something on the markets. Let's see how we start on a Monday. Right now, there is no reason to be bearish, but I think this rally has stretched 1,000 points and we have captured this entire 1,000 points move. It's time to be cautious, but not bearish. Use dips as a buying opportunity and let's see where it takes us from here on. Tomorrow I'll be talking again, not from the Tiger Hill. Someone asked, I'll be doing it from Tiger Point. There is a place here near around, not from there, but I'll be doing it from my place itself. And I hope it does not rain. If it rains, I can't see it out when there is no network. So I'll try my best to conduct that webinar at 11 a.m. See you, and you will get an invite if every one of you. So do you want me to invite every one of you on the webinar? I'll set it up for you all. Do you want me to invite you all? Yeah. Okay, fantastic. I'll do that. I will send an invite to all of you for the tomorrow's webinar. I will not be able to take any more questions. I'm so sorry. It's not that I'm ignoring. So a very interesting aspect happened last time. Someone said that I'm ignoring him again and again on the webinars. I'm not ignoring any one of you. It's just coincidence that probably I've not been able to take your questions at that point of time. Great then. And okay, the last one. Someone said the last one. Let me do that. And view on gold, silver, crude. Sorry, I don't have the charts in front of this. I'll not be able to do that right now. And the metal sector is strong. So the metal is going to be in an uptrend for now, but we have already rallied by 10-15%. So just be careful on whatever trades you take. You ensure you have a stop loss in place. Okay, that's it. That's Ashish Kyal here and signing off from Ashish Kyal Trading Gurukul. See you tomorrow at 11 a.m. Have a wonderful day. Stay safe, stay inside, and have a wonderful weekend. Thank you very much. It was my commitment, and I'm glad I'm able to fulfill this across being at a remote place without any electricity and the network issues. So that's my commitment, and that shows my passion, right? Thanks a lot.